suggestion was that as the Valentine's Day is coming, we speak about love, self. To be very honest, the first time I actually heard this term self-love, this was, I read about it in Louise Hay's book, where she said that the problem is that we don't love ourselves. I was a little shocked. I didn't understand why was she saying that. And that kind of just stayed with me, and I started contemplating, I started observing. And as I was walking the path, first obviously seeing in myself how I was not loving myself, and then working with a lot of other people, also kind of just seeing in what ways are we not loving ourselves, because obviously none of us consciously are not loving ourselves. So if she was right, if she was saying the truth, then what was really happening? How were we not loving ourselves? Divya, is everybody else muted? There was a little sound that was there. Yeah. Okay. So friends, love as we know. So, so many masters have actually spoken about love. So many people ask masters, what is love? Right? Because love is something which is more an experience, and what it is for us is something we need to contemplate on. It's like, if I've had gulab jamun, if you ask me, what is gulab jamun? Right? I can tell you so many things. It is brown in color. It is soft when you touch. When you press it a little bit, maybe some juice will come out. But if you've never eaten, if you've never seen, what you would imagine, what you would kind of think it to be, will be very different from actually seeing it, holding it, tasting it. Right? So just like that, every master has tried to tell about love. We've all experienced love. We've all been in love. We've loved our parents. We've had relationships. We've all experienced love. But how is it that everybody's experience is different? So many times, why do people still ask about love? Now, friends, as kids, all we want is to be loved. All we want is to be accepted, right? And what happens is our parents have given birth to us. And of course, the question of love is not there with us at that time, but the way that they are with us, for us, that becomes love. For us, love is approval. So when they approve of something that we are doing, we feel, yes, they are loving us, right? So classically, when the child becomes a toddler, when they start exploring everything, and the parents have to so many times say yes to so many things, scold them for so many things, the child feels, yes, if I do this, I'm being approved. If I do XYZ, then the parents love me. But if I'm not doing that other things, I'm not doing XYZ and I'm doing some other things, then they don't like me. They're not approving of that. That means I'm not getting their love. So this is how pre-verbal, when we are not even aware of the term love, right? We are actually feeling it, we are sensing it, we are absorbing things in this way. And approval, when they're approving of us, right? They are giving us attention, we feel loved. Sometimes also what happens is that one child is very, very good, obedient child, and the other child starts rebelling, starts disapproving. Sometimes the parents are not able to give time, they're not available, and the child starts throwing tantrums, starts doing things. And when they do something which is not approved by the parent, they get their attention. For the child, the attention is equal to love. So the disapproval gets associated with love. So we need to actually also pay attention as we go on this journey of self-love, right? Self-love, friends, is a journey, right? As we go on this journey, we have to actually also contemplate, how is it that our parents, how did as a child I experience love? When did I feel like I was being loved? Now, classically, friends, what happens is what our parents did to us, we keep doing to ourselves. So when I was an obedient girl and my parents were very happy that I'm obedient, even when I'm not with them, I will keep being the obedient person, because I now have already believed that when I am an obedient girl, then I am going to get love, then I'm loved, right? So we keep doing to ourselves what our parents did to us, what we perceived. So sometimes, like I said, that the parent was doing something, we became the rebellious, but that's become a pattern. So all of us before the age of 6 years have been programmed, and that programming of how we saw love, we have actually taken all of that. Now, when it comes to intimate relationships, when it comes to when we say Valentine's Day, finding the person we love, right? Again, the programming for that has happened in the early stages. The way that we saw our parents, the way that we saw the couples around. If we saw them constantly fighting, if we saw one person avoiding the other and the other constantly craving for their attention, that is the way that we believe love is. And even if we want that it should be a very beautiful relationship, unless and until this programming is corrected, a lot of the times people keep attracting the similar kind of things, where they initially find somebody who's giving all the attention, and then that person starts avoiding me. I don't know what's gone wrong, but this person is now really not available. So we keep going back to the same patterns. So we understand obviously the spiritual science that the inner world gets reflected in the outer world. The relationships are a mirror. Whatever that we will be seeing outside is informing us something about within. So we have to learn to work with the awareness, friends. And as I said, that self-love is a journey. It's a beautiful journey of actually knowing yourself. Like I said, whatever that you'll be seeing outside is telling you about something within. So you have to know yourself. You have to become aware of more and more of what's happening within you. So it's a journey of knowing yourself and choosing love. So many times, friends, when we have another person, a loved one in our lives, okay, we are able to forgive them sometimes for some things. But things that we may have done in the past, we are not able to forgive ourselves. I'll give you my own example. So, for like I mentioned, that I used to be this obedient girl, and I was always asked, I was always told that you have to share. My second sister was born before I was even two. Sharing came very naturally to me. Well, not very naturally. I said, well, probably the obedient girl started sharing. So, most of the times I would share. But I remember this one time, our neighbor used to send a dish. Okay, she used to make these sevaya. Okay, so for gym, I don't know how to say it. It's like a noodle, but that's a handmade noodle. And she would prepare it in two ways. One was a sweet way, and one was it had a savory version of it. Okay, and I loved that sweet one. Okay, now obviously when she would send that, I wanted more of the sweet one. So I remembered telling my sister, that salty one, that yellow colored salty one is tastier. Why don't you go for that? Right? I was doing that because I wanted the sweet one. Now, when I became aware of that, I realized that I carried a lot of guilt because when I was not sharing. So just because I was telling her that, that means that I did not want to share. And if you do not want to share, that means you're a bad girl. So these kind of associations, the child's mind, when they are understanding it, obviously not my parents told me that you're a bad girl. No, they didn't actually tell me that. But because the good girl is the one who shares, the one who doesn't want to share automatically became a bad girl, right? So these kind of associations had formed. So we need to actually we need to become aware of what is happening within. We become aware of the kinds of thoughts and feelings that may be there. And the second thing for loving ourselves is we always choose love. We choose to forgive ourselves. Oh my God, that child did that, right? Now I could see when I was telling about this, I could see a couple of people laugh about it. Oh, she thought she was a bad girl, right? She was feeling guilty about it. But for me, it stayed with me for a long time, right? So this is the way that I was not loving myself. When I got aware about this, I chose love. This is the way that we keep taking steps on this journey of self-love, friends. Friends, our mind is very tries to trick us, right? Mind always likes to stay in comfort zone. So the programming that has happened, right, we don't want to become more aware of what's happening. We just basically try to, the mind tries that we do not pay attention to what's happening. We stay in status quo. So many times in the different ages, the masters give us sutra, and the mind, without actually looking deeper, tries to just kind of take whatever that we can, right? So every sutra we need to actually look deeper. What came to my awareness was, there was this one sutra they would say, in the earlier times, self love was not a topic ever anybody discussed, right? They were told, you love others. When you want love, right, you give love to others, right? Now, when they are saying you give love to others, what is the deeper essence? If I have to give money to somebody, I should have money. Only then can I give, right? Now, when we are saying you give love to others, the key was that you tap into the love that is already there in you. When you tap into it, you automatically will give. You care for somebody, that love will flow through you, right? And when it flows, what goes out from you will come back to you, right? So we know these basic laws that when you give love, the love will come out. It's like life is like an echo point. Whatever you're going to give is going to come back. So to give love, most important thing was to tap into the love that is there within us, right? Now, classically what happened is, like I said, 99% people, we don't actually go into reprogramming because that inner work is not easy. It takes time. We have to take steps towards it. So many times what happened is people actually started trying to do for other people so that then they would get love, right? Now, obviously, the masters, the other thing that they were saying was, don't have expectation. But obviously, when you're doing for other people without tapping into the love that is already there in you, right, you feel drained, you don't feel nurtured. So the giving should come more naturally. It should not be an effort. The first step in that is that we tap into the love that's there within us. We go within, we meditate, right? The second step, when the topic of self-love started happening, especially in this century, the youngsters have all grown up with that, right? The second sutra that we have heard is, how you treat yourself is the way that others are going to treat you. That's the second sutra. So when we talk about self-love, right, a lot of the people basically started again changing things from the surface, not really going within, right? So when we say self-love, yes, they started taking more, probably paying more attention to their body, paying more attention to some of their needs. But when you're not going deeper, this becomes self-obsession, right? When we say self-love, which is the self that we are talking about? Where is this love? If you're not tapping into the love from within, then you're still waiting for the other to fill you up. So they may be actually doing things, doing actions which look like self-care. But if they are not really connecting in meditation, if they're not connecting to the self, which is beyond the body, which is beyond their mind, a lot of them get self-obsessed. There is no I'm not kind of criticizing anybody. This is a stage we may go through. We all probably would have gone through. Some people who are more attached to their emotions get very attached there. They identify themselves with this, right? My feelings, my needs. Some people get very identified with their thoughts. Some people get very identified with their body. So when we are saying self-care, yes, you have to pay attention to something. We have to pay attention to our feelings, but we have to also know how to drop it. We have to go beyond it. We have to go to the core, right? We have the Upanishads, the masters have really given us all the sutras also. When they are saying Aham Brahmasmi and they are saying Tattvamasi, right? Now they're telling you that we are beyond the body. Yes, we are the body. Of course, we have to take care of the body, but don't get obsessed with it, right? So we have to know ourselves in order to really love ourselves. So knowing oneself and then choosing love. That is the sutra, my dear friends. The other thing that's important in self-love, especially also when we talk about self-love, of course, we are also talking then about the extension of it, relationships, right? When we talk about love, we also talk about relationships, because love is what really connects all of us. We are all connected with each other. Now, in relationships, when you are seeing certain patterns in relationships, be there with awareness. Be humble enough to notice, to see what your life is throwing at you, right? So when somebody is not treating you well, right? So many times when I said people get into self-obsession, their fingers are again pointing at the other person. You can't treat me like that. I love myself. I will not let myself be treated this way, right? Now it's not really about the other, right? We have to look, why am I being treated this way? What is it creating in me? How do I treat myself? What is the inner perception, the inner story around relationships for me? So the programming that I mentioned that has happened in the beginning, we have to also be ready to reprogram it. We are not, it's not fixed now that this is what happened in the childhood. Now this is how your entire life is going to go. We need to become aware of it. And the second step, we have to reprogram. So we have to choose love. So parts of ourselves probably which our parents said, this is not okay. You're not okay, right? Every child wants to know that I'm okay, that I'm loved as I am, right? Now, it's not our parents' responsibility to do anything for us now anymore, right? So many people, when they are talking about self-love, right, they're waiting that my parent, she didn't approve of me. She still, she knows all of this, still she's not doing this. Don't wait for anybody to approve you, okay? Don't wait for that love to come from anywhere first. If you don't give it to yourself, it will not come. Dr. Newton had once very beautifully said that all relationships, all love coming from outside is a bonus, right? We don't wait for our survival on the bonus, right? We have to love ourselves. We have to connect to those parts which we are not approving, which we are judging, okay? And we have to really love. We have to start approving of those parts. And that is how, step by step, the inner perception starts changing. Okay. In relationships, friends, I've seen so many times the people are coming with patterns, right? Pattern of abandonment. So they have somebody and then that person abandons. They suddenly are not interested. They leave. This person is feeling abandoned. In the childhood, they felt abandoned. Patterns of rejection, right? They are rejected. They feel rejected by their mother and they feel rejected in every relationship. Now, you don't have to work on these people. You don't have to go and tell them, you can't treat me like that. You cannot reject me. How dare you treat me? No point. Inner is expressing on the outer. So we have to look at and work on that aspect to make our inner child feel accepted, wanted, right? And then also don't say, oh, I already attended inner child, but now still why is she treating me like that, right? So don't worry, that will automatically happen. The bonus is not something we are entitled to, right? We have to do the inner work, right? So some of these patterns are there, friends. We can take about 5 to 10 minutes. If there are any questions, any insights anybody wants to share, and then we can do a beautiful meditation.
Yeah,
Just
Dr.
now,
Preeti. Sorry.
okay.
No,
Yes.
go ahead. Okay, so Dr. Preeti, I really like the point that you said that most I was like thinking in my mind, and then I think you shared the same thing, that most of us with self love, we say that okay, you are treating me like this, now you are cut off from my life. So, and many quotes come in Facebook which talks about this, right? Who somebody who does not treat you well doesn't deserve you. So these make us feel very self obsessed instead of really working on what is it that I'm not deserving this love from outside. Thank you so much for this insight. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjukta. Thank you.
Can I
Now,
ask a
should
question?
Yes, Sujata ji.
This question is from Mahima. She's feeling shy to ask, so I'm asking on her behalf.
Hi, Mahima.
She's feeling shy, she's run away. But she's
Yes.
listened to your talk. So she wants to know that how do we know uh, whether we have self love or not? How do we gauge ourselves, whether we have it or not? What's the sign?
So, Sujata ji, self-love is a journey, right? You basically see, are you paying attention to your needs,
Mm-hmm.
right? How are you treating yourself? So simple things like, oh, I was hungry, but I didn't eat.
Okay.
Or I was unwell, but I didn't take rest because I had to do work, I had to do something else. So
Mm-hmm.
your body is actually asking for something, but you're not respecting that. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that sometimes you'll not need to do that. It's okay. Sometimes we all need to do that, right? But how is it that now is there a friendship with your body? Now, when you tell your body, oh, when you see, oh, I'm unwell, but yes, I know that today I'll need to push myself. The body also kind of cooperates with you, right? So it's a journey. It's beautiful. Be with that question, Mahima. The question so many times, takes us here. How do we know? We want like a question mark. Okay, fill karke pata chal gaya. Let that question actually take you deeper, Mahima, because that's exactly what happened with me, right? So when you actually be with the question helps you to go deeper, and you will be able to then see the paths that you're not loving. So, like I said, we all have sub personalities, the parts that you judge, the parts that you feel guilty about, the parts where you feel, oh, I deserve punishment, right? When your question will actually take you deeper and connect you to those parts. So, be with that question, Naina. Beautiful one. Thank you, Sujata ji. Anamika ji, you were asking me something.
yes, the last point you said, so that clicked. In my childhood, I felt that I was not loved, and my parents love like it's ये बेटा से. So I thought but as a child, I had the feeling that they love my brother more, and they don't love me much, and they don't want to give me things. So I think this is what is reflecting in my sister's behavior. No? Now she's taken away everything; she's not giving. So this was an insight I got, that my sister's behavior maybe could be because of that, because that is a very strong feeling in my mind, and it really used to hurt me that they love him more and they want to give him and they want to give me. So this is one insight I got just now. Thank you.
That's that's beautiful. Anamika ji, so sharing, how do we kind of work on that? Right? Inner child work is really about, yes, getting connected to, yes, this is what I was feeling, right? And then if I was to love this child, this inner child in me, when I have to be with this child, right, how would I be? So becoming aware, sometimes what happens is he was a boy, I was a girl, that's why maybe they don't love me, right? So what happens is we try to become like the boy. We try to do, it may not be in dressing up, but we try to do all the things that men do, that boys do, right? So those are ways in which we are not loving ourselves. We can only love ourselves the way we are. We cannot love ourselves the way that we are actually not. So this is
Yes.
then the journey of self-love, of accepting and loving
Yes.
yourself as a woman. Thank you, Anamika ji.
Yes, yes. this also, now that you explained, I got one more point, that yes, the way I think and behave is like men. It's nothing female like. Maybe I'm dressing up like a female, but
Yes.
in my thinking and behavior, that male thing is there. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Then that's the self-love journey, that you love and respect yourself as a woman. Right? Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Chip, please.
Yes, hello. I was thinking of what's sticking with me now is the forgiveness aspect, and I consider myself a pretty forgiving person. Yet I think we judge ourselves much harder and critique ourselves, I think, much harder. I know I do. So my question is, if you have any suggestions or practices that we can have to be better at forgiving ourselves and not carrying even just the smallest things
That's wonderful.
Across a long journey
So one is
unnecessarily.
we'll be doing a meditation where actually you can do that. But the other thing is actually putting it down on paper. So, for example, what are you judging yourself for? Okay, put them on paper. And then maybe you can say, oh, if Miles was doing that, okay, or if another person you love was doing that, how would you handle it? So when you love your child, right, you say you're forgiving, you say it's okay, we all make mistakes and you can learn from your mistakes, you can grow from your mistakes, right? Or things like I mentioned about myself, it was not even a mistake, but it was something I thought should be done and I was not doing it, so I was not forgiving myself for that. So once we say, like you beautifully said, that forgiving ourselves is most difficult. So you can actually say, if my loved one was doing it, how would I say, what would I say to him? Now, when you say, yes, this is what I would say to him, you say that to yourself. Thank you, Jim. Yes, Preeti ji.
Hello, Dr. Preeti. I wanted to clarify, when we say if I'm not able to forgive someone very close to me, a dear friend or a dear family or a family member, is it also related to self-love, or
Not
say if
necessarily. Not necessarily. Right? But forgiveness again is a journey. Is a, when you grow in compassion, when you grow in awareness. Okay? So many people, they say that they feel like the other person is a victim, right? We've all heard the word projection, right? That our inner story is being projected outside, right? We feel like I'm the victim and the other person is a perpetrator. This person did bad to me. But when our awareness is growing, when you kind of just pay more and more attention, you will be able to also see where you probably were a perpetrator, probably how you actually did something to hurt the other, right? One of the sutras which stayed with me, Osho had once said one thing very beautiful. He said that when a rich man, there was a rich man and a person um, did a robbery in his house, okay, and he stole something, okay, and this rich person was basically very, very angry at him. They went to the sarpanch of the village, and he said, no, but he's wrong, he should get punished, right? And he said, but my wife was unwell, right, and I didn't have even food, so I needed money for her food and for medicine so that she could be saved. He said, no, but his action was wrong, so he should be punished, right? Now, Osho said one very beautiful thing. He said, a lot of the times we are actually seeing the action of the other person. And when it comes to our own action, we see the intention. We say, no, even if my words hurt you, or even if I did this, my intention was right. Now, when we want to make the relationships work, we have to turn it around. We have to see what was the intention of the other person. Then we'll be able to forgive. A lot of the times, even when the other's actions have hurt us, their intention might not be so bad. That might be good. And for ourselves, we have to see the action. that even if my intention was good, did my action hurt the other? And we have to take
Mm.
responsibility for that.
Okay. Thank
So I
you.
think that's a sutra that you can bring. Thank you, Preeti.
Thank you.
Wonderful, friends. So, friends, we'll do a meditation, okay, where we will keep our awareness at the heart center. So, as we breathe, first 5 minutes natural breath, then keeping our awareness at the heart center and feeling it expand. We will put the sutra that we let ourselves expand. This is the center of transpersonal awareness, right? Of love. So we allow the awareness to just keep growing. We allow the energy field around us to keep growing and really start feeling that love is flowing out, right? So love is going out from us. We are including everybody. We are allowing that love to just expand, of course, with us included, right? So you're tapping into the love. So first 5 minutes when you're with your breath, you're just letting yourself be, trusting that that source is there within you, and then connecting to this. And then the last stage, we will allow ourselves to connect to parts of ourselves judge or can't forgive. Okay, so maybe your inner child, people who've done inner child, if you visualize your inner child, or it could be just something that you did 2 years back which you really judge yourself for. We remember this old younger version of you, right, also needs to be understood, accepted. So you look into what happened, right, but you let yourself accept. We choose love as we become aware of this aspect. Okay, are we all ready? So friends, take off your spectacles. Take a comfortable posture with your back straight. Close your eyes. And bring your awareness to your breath. Meditation is just being with yourself without any objectives, just aware of yourself. We withdraw ourselves from the outer world right now, just connected to the inner world. Our breath is always in the moment. It brings us to the moment. Just watch the natural incoming breath and outgoing breath. Anchor yourself within you. Your breath is your anchor. And a relaxed awareness. Allow yourself to relax with the breath. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just in. You are the Brahma. Love is there within you. Just let yourself drop into it with the breath. Getting comfortable just with yourself. Bringing friendship or friendliness with your breath, with your own self. Awareness with love. Just accepting whatever that you become aware of. If there are any sensations that you notice, any thoughts that came and went, any feelings, don't get attached to them, just observe and accept. And allow your awareness to now come to the heart center, the center of the chest, the fourth chakra. As if just breathing gently into the heart center. And allow the awareness just to be expanded there. Relaxing with your awareness at the heart center. The center, the fourth chakra, is the center of love. Every breath that's coming in, allow yourself to feel that it's bringing in love. Love energy is all that is. And as you're just keeping your awareness there and allowing yourself to tap into the source of love and feel it, your entire being is being filled with love. And this beautiful love energy is also oozing out of you. Let yourself feel your energy body expand. As if an egg-shaped layer that's there around you is expanding. This love energy is oozing out from you, and this energy body is expanding further and further. Allow this love to touch all beings around you. First touching your family, your loved ones, your friends. And let it keep expanding, touching your acquaintances, other beings, animals, plants. Wherever you feel like it is difficult to feel love, supposing a being comes into your awareness whom you're not able to forgive, whom you're angry at. See if you can just allow yourself to take a step towards acceptance, if not love. And that's okay. Be gentle and aware. And allow this awareness to keep expanding, allowing yourself to include more and more people, more and more beings. And relax into it. Just relax with that feeling. Just feeling this love. How does it feel when you feel the love and you feel it spreading, moving out, oozing out of you effortlessly? And you just feel love for everyone without any expectations. All is love around you. You are accepting and loving. At this point in time, if there are any parts of you that you are not able to love, things that you judge about yourself, aspects that you're not able to forgive yourself for, see if you feel ready to include them. Just let yourself feel them, see them, sense them, just the way it comes to you naturally. And let these parts also be touched by this love that's oozing out from you. A okayness, an acceptance of this aspect of you. We become a whole person when we embrace parts of ourselves. We become a wiser person as we love parts of ourselves. Every mistake can give us valuable lessons. Allow yourself to choose those lessons and then choose love. Just another 3 minutes, my dear friends. Be with your breath. Be with this expansiveness, this love, this acceptance. Just another 2 minutes, my dear friends. Be with you. You deserve your love as much as anybody else. Every breath going in is taking love notes to the cells of your body. In this last 1 minute, you may choose a particular sentence if you like. I love you. I love you just the way you are. Every day as you take time out to be with yourself, to meditate, that is an act of self-love. Remembering this feeling of love, remembering to choose you, to choose awareness and love. Slowly you're getting ready to come back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Rubbing your palms slowly. You can cover your eyes, open your eyes, and welcome back. Welcome back, my dear friends. Friends, we are already at 7:48, so if any of you want to leave, but I'll stay on. If there are any sharings, I would love to hear anybody, any insights. When you share your insights, friends, it helps everybody. So we are on this journey together. You can share any of your insights, experiences. Yes, Mohini ji, आप unmute कर लीजिए.
I found that there was some relationships, especially the very close ones, that I was very unable to really give that love, couple of them. And it may sound funny, but I have to say it, that I have a pet dog and I connected so beautifully with that doggy. I wish it could be that way with other human beings also. So I don't know why this, maybe because of judging or because of pets give you unconditional love. I don't know what it was, but there were definitely 2-3 very close relationships I just couldn't connect with.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Mohini ji, for sharing that. Yes, definitely with pets, we don't feel there are no expectations, there are no stories, there is no my point of view, your point of view, you did this to me, right? So all of that is not there. So it's beautiful for us when we connect with pets. It's beautiful to connect again to the feeling of love. But these relationships that are there in our life are really our teachers. We all have these, the shamans call them petty tyrants. They're tyrants. We all have petty tyrants. We'll all have people who actually kind of trigger you. They'll really make you realize, Mahima asked that question, how do we know we'll really love ourselves? So they'll actually make you turn within and see what's happening within, check in. So do that little check in. What is it about them that bothers you? What has happened there? Maybe something that happened many years back. You're not able to forgive, move on from there. So these are just pointers. Just take that, go take the thread back and go back. Where is this really troubling me? Thank you. Thank you, Nilimaji. Thank you, Sanjukta. Thank you, Kasali. Yes, friends, anybody else would like to share any experience, any question as well?
Ma'am, can I share?
Yes, Divya, please.
I think Anamika ji wants to talk.
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead, ma'am.
Anamika ji, आपकी आवाज
In this meditation, I experienced that should Yes. So that thing is continuing in my crack. Ab aa rahi hai? Ab during the meditation, but that story is continuing in my in-laws' house also. That same thing is continuing here also, that I feel that I don't get what I deserve. And my father-in-law is like giving more to my brother-in-law. That story is continuing here also.
Yes, yes. Thank you for sharing, Namika ji, because it really helps to identify that it's not about, one person. When that inner story is there, somebody will keep showing it to us.
Yes. Then now what should I do to remove this pattern?
So with inner child work, connecting, seeing what is it, that feeling that's there of rejection, of not wanted. We have to, keep working at it, change the perception. When we say perception, beliefs are more subconscious. So don't be disheartened saying, "Arey, maine to kar liya tha workshop. Why is this still there?" Right? We have to keep looking at it, because so many life, in the womb, probably something may have happened. In the first 6 years, so many situations have happened that we felt that. Right? So as you just keep giving yourself more and more and more attention, that's how you are rewiring. As you keep making yourself feel wanted, filling up that need by yourself. Every time you're doing that, you're rewiring. In our brain, things have been wired. Many times things are repeated. I'm not wanted. I'm not wanted. That's been wired. So we have to stop giving that attention, and we keep making ourselves feel wanted. We're going to reprogram. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Divya.
Hi, ma'am. So I had a small insight during the meditation, and I just felt like in order to love yourself and to love others, I think it's very important to feel safe. I got that very strongly during the meditation, that I really need to feel safe in order to be able to first love myself, and thereby, then give that love outside to other people.
Absolutely. That's a very beautiful insight. See, safety is connected to our first chakra, root chakra, right? Now, the energy cannot go up if the energy is not there. On the first floor is not built, the energy cannot go on the fourth floor. So we have to feel safe. We should be able to trust the person. Only then love can happen. Right? So these are very important things. And again, when you say safe, right, this feeling of lack of safety is there within. So many times when we actually just start paying attention, that's why I said that self-love is actually a journey of knowing oneself. You just say, "Oh, I don't feel safe. Oh, I don't even trust myself," right? So that's a revelation. Now, of course, loving yourself would mean that you see what is it that will make you feel safe. You connect to that. You work on that, on aspects of your awareness. Thank you so much. That's a beautiful insight, Divya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, friends. Thank you for your messages. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning to you too. Thank you, Jim. Good morning.
Thank you so much.
Day.
Thank you.
Evening to everybody else in India.
Thank
We,
you.
we look forward to your another session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.